fellow countrymen and women, friends from the media, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start first by expressing my profound gratitude to you all for accepting my invitation to attend this press conference here today. I give thanks to the Almighty God for His manifold blessings in my life and for His grace and mercy. I wish also to use this platform to express my heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you, particularly the rank and file of the new patriotic party, NPP, who have believed in my vision, who have stood by me through thick and thin, and who have shown an unwavering faith in the promise of a brighter future for Ghana. Your belief in the possibilities of our nation and your dedication to the ideals of progress, unity, and prosperity have been nothing short of inspiring. It is important for me at the outset to provide a historical context for what has occasioned this press conference today. In 1992, when the new patriotic party was established, a group of young, dynamic business executives and professionals came together to establish the Young Executives Forum, YEF, under my chairmanship. The YEF, since 1992, became the financial backbone of the party and provided significant financial resources to support the party in all its endeavors, including providing the seed fund for the purchase of the party's first national headquarters building. As chairman of the YEF, I had the privilege of serving as a member of the National Executive Committee and the National Council of the party. In addition to this, I served as a leading member of various committees of the party. In 1996, after the unsuccessful attempt by the first flag bearer of the party, Professor Albert Edubuahin, to win the general elections, the membership of the Young Executive Forum nominated me to contest the 1996 presidential primaries alongside leading personalities such as Professor Edubuahin, Mr. J. Kufuor, Dr. Jani Selby, Dr. Kwame Safodu, Mr. J.H. Mensah, and Dr. Jones Oforiatta. I was prevailed at that time upon by some senior members of the party, in particular, Mr. Akenteng Apiamenka and Mr. Stephen Kreku, both of blessed memory, to sacrifice the opportunity to contest for the leadership of the party and rather support my senior colleague aspirants. From 1996 to 2000, I played a leading role in supporting the bid of the then candidate J.A. Kufuor to win the general elections and become president of the Republic of Ghana in 2001. After refusing appointment as a cabinet minister in the aftermath of the elections, the president then persuaded me to become NPP's first ambassador to the United States of America, a position I served with distinction. I was subsequently appointed in 2003 as Minister for Trade and Industry and Presidential Special Initiatives to implement a new paradigm of economic development, which I had introduced in 2001 on the assumption of office by President Kufuor. Between 2003 and 2007, I led the government's program for enhancing private sector development and ushering a golden age of business in Ghana. In 2007, I joined a distinguished group of 17 presidential aspirants to contest in the presidential primaries of the NPP. In that election, under very strange circumstances, the electoral process was truncated on the day of the election on account of accusations leveled against me of influencing the course of the elections. This strategy was designed to create disfavor against me in an attempt to diminish my popularity and the massive support I enjoyed amongst the rank and file of the grassroots of the party. In spite of this unfortunate occurrence, however, when the votes were finally counted, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came first and I was the runner-up. According to the rules of the electoral process at that time, the two of us were programmed for a second-round ballot. It was in response to this development that I made my landmark declaration that to avoid a further deterioration of peace in an already divided party, I would make the supreme political sacrifice not to contest the runoff, but rather support my senior brother, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to contest as the flag bearer for NPP. To contest as the flag bearer for NPP in the 2008 general elections. Despite the sacrifice I made to unite the party, as referred to above, there were very serious post-primary attacks on my supporters all over the country and an open show of hostility. Some of my supporters were victims of brutalities and continue to bear the scars of that treatment. I made several representations to the then leadership of the party, drawing their attention to the rancorous and divisive behavior of some elements in the party. Regrettably, however, my representations went unheeded. As a consequence, I gave notice of my decision to resign from the party in protest against the blatant alienation of my supporters, orchestrated by elements aligned to the leadership of the party at that time. The protests and reactions from the rank and file of the party at that time from all over the country compelled the then chairman of the party to constitute a reconciliation committee chaired by the then immediate past chairman of the party, Ambassador Samuel Odoi Sykes. The committee upheld all my submissions and prevailed upon me to rescind my decision to resign, which I did, with a firm promise to address all the contentious issues I had raised in my notice of resignation. Unfortunately, however, all the promises made by the party leadership were never fulfilled, and indeed, the divisive and hostile attacks on my person and my supporters remained for several years thereafter and have continued to date. It is common knowledge that any party member who is associated directly or indirectly with Alan Kyerematen is treated with disdain and considered an outcast. Fellow countrymen and women, I have endured all this resentment and maintained my integrity within the party throughout the past 15 years. On assumption of office of the NPP in 2017, under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I was appointed as Minister for Trade and Industry in the first term of the NPP administration and was retained in the same position by the President in his second term. During the past 6 years, I led the introduction and implementation of some of the most innovative and successful programs of the NPP, including the establishment